Okay, and we are back from our break. A long break because the Audacity take forever to export the freaking audio.
Now then, will the defendant miss an escape? Please take the stand.
Yes, let's try to beat this before it's 6 o'clock. Yeah, that's not gonna happen, is it? Miss Van Skype, you are the chief prosecutor. Are you sure you are aware of what you required of you?
Yes, I'm sure.
But Mr. Edward, you already know everything, except for the fact that you don't know everything that I have done in these past 2 years.
Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Guy. And remember, we're under oath. We want to hear the truth.
On the promise? Of course, the truth. When and no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister. No matter what!
Now then, your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Gant. Everything hangs on your testimony. You're the only chance we have to get Gant.
Indeed.
Gant to the fabrication.
I work alongside Gant for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. When I found the prosecutor Marcel's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. Of course not.
Of course not. Yeah. Are you sure about this testimony?
Your Honor, I confess to the capital offense of course I am. Jesus. But when, yeah, whatever.
If it is true, then that means Chief Gant has nothing to do with this.
That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. Please, Mr. Wright, you got to help her. She's sacrificing herself for me.
But what if she's telling the truth?
She's not. I know my own sister, of course you do. Whenever she speaks slippy like that, she's hiding something inside. Deep down, she's really screaming of agony.
Fine. Yeah, this is no time to start second-guessing myself. The defense may now begin cross-examination. Okay
then, let's press the 4th statement so we can add a statement.
Excuse me, boy. You say you did this all by yourself?
Yes. Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene? It seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken prosecutor wore the knife was stuck in the victim's body. What?
Yeah, what? What does this mean?
Means that we always say what synchronize and as.
But Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident.
That's only a situation you dream was possible. The reality is, I wasn't my sister who took prosecutors alive. That's what you say. Fantasize all that you want, Mr. Wright, but I will never change this statement. You mean Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Dart? Something like that. If that's the case, that happened to be to the other murder weapon. Dark was carrying a switchblade knife. Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle.
That's not how it went down. She's trying to cover up her lies with more lies.
Oh, it's just to protect me. Yeah, we get it.
So when you found the scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to.
Yes, they said the statement that I'm going to relate. I broke off the tip of Dark's knife and planted it inside the wound and moved it to the body.
We have to present, right?
No, we have to press.
Oh. You planted the tip of Dark's knife in the victim's wound, and then you moved the body?
But why? Why do you do such a thing? Why? You of all people should know, Edward. You already had good head on your shoulders.
Okay, that's bad. I ask for the sake of the others.
Yes! Let's see, what you have to ask, Enes. What do you take?
Second?
Yep.
Why did you move the body? When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body?
It was where I deduced it was by Chief Gant's desk. But the body was found on your desk. Why did you move it there? The reason for that is simple.
Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason Miss Guy moved the body.
Indeed.
A new statement.
The piece of the jar was shattered during the event, triggered my plan.
Now it's present, right?
Yep, now we present unstable jar.
I guess she's talking about the jar anyway. Objection! Miss Guy, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister. You mean the footage at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered?
Indeed.
If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been useless. Even so, I am compelled to bring to everyone's attention significant contradiction within your testimony.
Oh God! A contradiction in my testimony, how dare you!
You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events read my plan."
That's right.
Do you have a problem with that? It's a simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on this jar with the witness' blood.
Yes, prosecution must have written it in the final moments.
Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write the message on the jar, it must have been broken before he died.
Ah!
You couldn't have written Emma's name on a shattered jar.
Oh snap!
Oh, snap. Order!
Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar to the bloody message. We may be missing something critical here.
Critical?
Chief Prosecutor, it seems you're in the dark as we are about the truth towards which we are headed. What? Just tell us exactly what you saw. We will piece together the information to arrive at the truth.
Very well. The witness may now continue her testimony.
Indeed.
Okay, jar message in blood. That's the next one.
I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar, but it was the dark room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were washed, so I sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping the queen before they were discovered.
Yeah, sure you did. Don't care. You
were
the one who wiped away this message in blood?
I was the chief prosecutor at the time.
He was second in command.
Yeah, you said that like thousands of times today. She didn't think Dark was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence.
Very well. The defense may now begin cross-examination.
Okay, now we have to present another thing, which is the same exact evidence that we've been using in the last 5 minutes.
The stable jar.
Yes. And why? Because one of the pieces wasn't actually in the safe.
Yep.
It was in a certain person's safe.
I believe this jar conceals the truth even you were unaware of.
What?
We found this final piece of this jar in Chief Cat's safe.
In Chief Cat's safe? But how?
I knew it. She really didn't know. There's something even more disturbing about that final piece. There was still blood on it. But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off of them. Yes, which leaves us with one explanation. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up on the scene. Chief Cat got there before you do.
Did.
Before you.
Yeah.
You did, yeah.
Yeah, she did.
You lose the internet. But could the defendant simply miss the piece?
Objection! I object in 2001.
I'm afraid that's unlikely. The piece is not too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective. That may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Even I once wasted an entire day looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along. Can you believe that?
Yes, I can.
It's scary.
Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When the witnesses arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken.
Oh, that.
There's no way a name could have been written on the shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness.
I hope you're not implying this birth was Chief Cat. At the time, he was looking for Dark downstairs. Besides, even if he was there first, why would he break the jar? The question is, he didn't arrive there first. Why did he hide that fact for 2 years? Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that?
Oh God.
That was hilarious. Wait, I'm not the one on trial here!
Demon Guard arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar. Purposefully hid one of the broken pieces.
Yep.
Question. What is the action called?
Fabrication.
Indeed.
But why would you do that?
In light, what happened afterwards isn't clear.
What happened afterwards?
discovering the scene when Sky believed her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought to gain aid. Letting your aid can't help her created evidence on incriminated Dark, sparing Emma, and here is the reason. The reason why Miss Sky became thief puppets. Oh, blood did came out of that finger. No, I didn't do it on my own. I did whatever.
Yeah, my own. Yeah, I know.
Please stop! Stop trying to protect Chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore. For my sake. No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says.
Nice
Defense attorney makes up dirty. Why should defend their client? Oh god.
Wow, wise. Imagine that coming from my own client.
Oh yeah.
I guess you do see the type who likes to twist the truth.
Indeed.
Wait a minute. I just remembered something. What if we're still smack dab in the middle of a gas trap?
Indeed.
Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Lana, maybe right after all.
What do you mean, Mr. Wright? So you tell full lies that
Not that, Emma! Not that!
Oh god.
This guy, please testify once more.
But
if evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie.
But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marcel.
Miss Sky, if you will.
I can't. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will if you tell the truth. Very well. I will testify about what I really saw.
Alright, the witness may testify once more for the final time.
The final time that is useless cross-examination.
Actual crime scene. Well, let's hear it first, obviously.
When I arrived, I found Mr. Marcel's body implanted on the suit of armor. Sword. Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what had happened, I thought she did it. Oh, that's very nice. That's why I erased all the evidence linking her to the murder. I had the chief can't help me remove the body from the sword to carry it. But if it really was the fabrication, Emma might be innocent. I love that position of her.
Unbelievable! The body was impaled on the armored sword?
You were the only one who saw that. If only you had proof. Actually, I do have proof.
Oh snap!
I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning.
What? To me?
Yes, to you.
Yes, Dad, don't you know?
It's the picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed.
But I don't remember receiving a picture like that.
When must have known. See, Mr. Wright, she really does have faith on you. On you, or whatever.
Wait a minute, right? Please present this picture. I don't remember receiving any pictures from Lana.
Lana said she gave it to you this morning, right?
I seem to remember getting something from her then.
Let's check the evidence again. There must be a picture there.
It's the evidence log.
Yes, let's check it.
Yep, hold on.
The weirdest thing you have to open from the back, more specifically the white thing. Why? Don't know.
Here we go.
And there it is.
The picture.
Hey!
There's a picture here.
Listen!
Hey, listen! This is not Legend of Zelda. Well, they have armor suits and whatnot.
Oh my! This is actually the crime scene! No other detective saw the crime scene like this. That's because I encountered the criminal affairs only after I rearranged the scene.
Okay, here's the picture.
Mr. Wright! That piece cut out of his vest, could that be?
Well, found inside you can't see. Yeah, that one with the fingerprint.
Uh-huh.
Okay, what's this? Yeah.
Yeah. As we remember, the handprint has actually the fingerprints for Emma, which we're not gonna say it for now. That quote had fingerprints on it. Whoever fingerprints those are must be the real murderer.
What? But those fingerprints, they're yours, Emma.
Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright?
Nothing.
Nothing. Anyways, let's get to the cross-examination. So long as we tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer.
Very well, the defense now begins cross-examination.
Then let's start this cross-examination and end this game once and for all.
Yeah. Alright,
What?
Hold it!
What the hell?
What?
How dare you interrupt my cross-examination?
What the hell? Damn it! Calm now, Haji. This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen. Chief Kid! What, now you want to make me out as a bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense.
I'm afraid it's too late for that.
What?
So fuck all your shit. You are ready to decline testimony. That means you forfeit your right to make a statement. And the officer are a fucking Edgewood. I win.
Okay, this must be the race the judge was talking about.
Indeed. Just sit back and relax, and enjoy the sound of the nose tightness around your own neck. Aha! I told you you're gonna get shocked. Haha! You just got Edgewood shocked.
Ah, so what? You think I'm worried?
Yes.
Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements.
What do you mean?
The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence. Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence? No, I don't. But someone does. Someone? So then, your excuse, righto. Oh God, why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves not over the margin, causing his death. Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt. Is this true, Mr. Wright? If I show that piece of evidence now, Emma's sure to be made out as a murderer. Mr. Wright, do you have any more evidence present now? And if you try to conceal anything, we'll be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries. What do I do now? I better think this through carefully. Can't afford to make the wrong decision. Can I present that piece of evidence? One that shows who really killed Prosecutor Marshall? Not now!
Cannot show evidence.
Because if you show, it's game over. Not kidding. Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time.
I underline that at this point of time.
Yeah. What? You lie. Chief Gent? You opened my safe. I knew you took what it was inside. The conclusive evidence. I don't know what you're talking about.
Mr. Wright, what did you show them? We found it together.
Yeah, but you didn't see it. Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it.
What are you talking about, Chief Gant?
Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area?
Well, besides the fact that the blood is underlined.
Looks like part of it's been cut out for some reason.
You mean you had this in your safe?
What? That means you police concealing evidence. This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department.
Yeah, until the next year, which we don't care about.
Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gal, righto.
Do you think this scandal is better than the PSN scandal?
Well, I can just let you pin me up as a murderer. I'll tell you what really happened. What? Means you admit to it?
Apparently he's dumber than I thought he was.
I was the first person to arrive at the scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana.
You really were manipulating her.
I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay with her sister, that's why she saw the crime, she would ask me for my aid.
So you sided Miss Sky.
I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room. And
I ended up using that evidence you get Joe Dark convicted.
When we rearranged the crime scene, I hid two pieces of evidence. And this was before Lana arrived at the scene. 2 pieces of evidence? You mean those items in your safe? But why? For insurance, of course. Insurance?
Indeed.
I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed. You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence?
Indeed.
Who do you take me for? A fool? I didn't make police cheap by dumb luck. See this jar fragment? I hid the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood off all the pieces.
But if you fabricate all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the messes on this jar too?
Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance.
You mean this piece of gold?
Come on, Rido, cut it up already. I knew you have it.
Okay, you want to cough it up? We're gonna cough it up. What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright?
So you admit to it then, Chief Cat. Then you were hiding the clothes to cut off the victim's vest in your safe. Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do that, being chief and all, but it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer.
Fine then.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago you said you didn't have any evidence you could present. Foolish move, Rido. You should have shown it before it was too late. It's been a long battle, but the moment of truth has finally arrived.
Indeed.
As long as I don't mess up, your victory is mine.
Show evidence.
Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now.
Indeed.
Alright then, let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall. A quote.
Indeed.
Right?
Yep.
Take that! Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut off this piece of the victim's vest. Oh yes! At last you finally brought it up out into the open. There's a handprint on this piece of cloth.
Your Honor, the prosecution requests an immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint is on the ladder. There must have been a strong impact left so clearly.
You mean...
It could have been forged, but it must be authentic, conclusive evidence.
Douchebag, yay! Oh. You're slow on the uptake as ever, Woody.
What?
Think about it. Rido had all this time to present his evidence, yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be?
You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that. Mr. Wright, do you really know?
Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they? Oh god. Alright, very well. I'll tell you. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. The person who these fingerprints belong to are Emma Sky, because we checked that out earlier. Emma? Emma Sky?
What? They are mine?
I'm sorry, Emma.
But why? Why didn't you tell me?
Because I didn't want you to be oblivious. Oh, lose the internet! You're really something, Rido. You knew this girl did it all along, and you're still trying to pin the murder on me. So, it's true. Magic but true. This girl really did shoot Prosecutor Marshall twisted.
How could you? You monster!
This guy?
You knew his fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like a real didn't you?
Hang on a minute. Miss Sky, it's not over yet.
What?
I said this trial isn't over yet. Ha! But I'm afraid it is over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career too. You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy!
Yeah, whatever you say.
What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer?
Huh.
Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh, and what's that? Who really killed the Prosecutor Neil Marshall? What? Chief Cat, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask? It was MSK, wasn't it?
No, no, no.
I'm afraid that's not possible. Excuse me. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction. What? A contradiction? What is this fool babbling about?
Indeed.
I'm talking about a contradiction. One that proves who the real killer is.
Indeed.
We'll find out who it is. Oh, there's the internet! Mr. Ray, this piece of cloth. What could it possibly contradict? Chief Cat, the tyrannical reign ends here. Behold, the piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth.
Lana's picture. And we're gonna. The game is gonna explain. I'm not gonna bother.
What exactly is this supposed to be? This is the picture, Mrs. Guy. Take a good look at it. See where the piece of his vest was cut out? It sure is showing underneath. It's hard to make out with all the blood on his vest, though. Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. That's only natural. His lungs no doubt were punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth. Oh, but that piece of cloth.
Exactly, it has no blood, which means...
Wait, there's no blood on it. Oh!
Yep.
Since Emma Sky's fingerprints are on his clothes, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword.
Corner!
This is nonsense! This is Sparta!
Fuck your shit!
Now then, Chief Cat, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside.
He most likely hit the head on the ground as was knocked out.
If so, then tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Miss Sky? Picked up the unconscious prosecutor and impaled him on the armor's sword.
Got it. Then to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said the person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. Then he broke the jar on purpose to leave behind a clue. And make one believe her sister did it!
Remember what you admitted only moments ago? That you personally cut out this bloodless piece of the victim's vest? Ironic, isn't it? Through the very act of creating insurance. You proved that you were the actual murderer!
Nice job!
No!
Let's clap ironically.
It's finished. We're done. Thank you. Bye.
Irony clap.
Objection.
Why are you objecting? You don't even have sound on that objection.
Oh, covariation cornered! That was close, Righto. You almost had me.